liberty lovers, and welcome to the Liberty Mike podcast, broadcasting from an undisclosed location in the heart of Dixie. I am Michael, and I am here with Liberty Larry.
How's it going?
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, not so great on your end of the table.
No, my neck thing has flared up again badly. I have barely moved from the couch the last couple of days. So here we are for how long, I'm not sure, because my arm hurts so bad.
Maybe a short one tonight.
Might be. And I definitely didn't get to do much research because when I was sitting at a computer, I was doing my job that I get paid for, and I didn't spend extra time reading up on things for the podcast. So sorry, everybody, but there's only so much pain I'm willing to withstand for the podcast.
Yeah.
I did, however, at least it was a good time in the sense that this is at the end of the March Basho of the Grand Sumo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's in the Kyoto tournament.
You can watch that on TV, though, right?
Well, I plugged the computer into the TV.
Yeah.
And that's how I watch it.
I'm just saying, but you can do that without being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That is my point. And as of, I guess it was early this morning, really, because Japan's like 18 hours ahead of us or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kirishima won the Yusho officially. I mean, not officially, but nobody can catch him at this point. So
everybody else is mathematically eliminated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. They'll still continue to fight, but
yeah, it would have been more interesting if they'd gone into because this is day 14 out of 15.
Yeah.
It would have been more interesting if Hoshoryu, the Yokozuna, would have still been in the race potentially if he won and Kirishima lost on the last day. Yeah. And then, for Kirishima to just win on the last day and make it like that. Now I hope he wins on the last day just to say it wouldn't mattered that Hoshoryu lost to the Ozeki Kotozakura.
Yeah.
But I like Kirishima, so good for him.
So you've been enjoying sumo then?
Yeah.
Here.
It's the only sport I watch.
Yeah.
But it's fun. So I don't know, how do you want to start?
Start wherever you like.
Okay. This is what I would like from the audience, is that if we have had any impact on your thinking about any issue in all the time that you have listened to the podcast, in terms of you disagreed with us at first and we at least gave you a perspective that you considered and looked into, and even if you rejected it in the end or whatever, if we've had any impact, I'd like you to email me at michael@thelibertymike.com or put it on the Facebook or, a comment on one of the other places. But
put it somewhere where we can get to it.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of black-pilled about this whole thing right now. I feel like... And in some ways, this applies to me too. I'm sure that it seems to, for people that interact with me regularly, that people are so certain about their own position that they don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah. Now,
that my position has been changed by listening to other people on things in the past. Yeah. And I am arrogant. I recognize that. There's, I would say confident, but other people have
those words intersect really closely sometimes.
Yeah, other people have used the word arrogant. So, and I recognize that. I'm I've put a lot of thought and generally a fair bit of research into the positions that I hold.
Yeah.
So
you feel good about them.
I do, and mostly I'm doing this podcast, and I feel like the podcast wouldn't have any impact at all if I just got up here and said, well, I don't really know. It could be a bunch of other things, but this is what I think. No, I need to present these ideas with confidence.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
And I do that in my personal life too.
Yeah.
When I interact with people, and I guess I don't really let anything go, which is a character flaw maybe. But
well, it's interesting that you bring this up at this moment in time, because I know you said you read the resignation letter from Joe Kent.
Yes.
And so I did read the letter, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. I absorb knowledge weird. But but I listened to the interview that he did with Tucker Carlson. And I found the thing I found really interesting about it, there were a lot of things. I highly recommend people go listen to it because it's definitely worth the time. But the thing I found interesting was he's saying a lot of the same stuff that we've been saying on this podcast. The only difference is that he's been in the position to know the facts. Yeah. The same stuff we talk about that we've dug up and we found and we've been talking about, but it's coming from somebody that's been in the administration and had knowledge that we don't even have access to, saying this.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing I remember from the letter was him saying Iran was no imminent threat.
Yes. And he said that throughout the interview. And
that, we were doing this for Israel, sort of. I mean, that's not exactly how he said it, but he was like, Israel kind of pulled us into this thing that we don't need to be playing a part in.
And he goes into some detail in the interview about exactly that, about how Israel pulled us into this. And he seems to really approach it from a real straightforward perspective. He's like, he's not hateful towards Israel, which neither are we, by the way. But I really kind of appreciated the fact that he was like, look, Israel has its objectives and what it's in the neighborhood and wants to do, has certain things they want to achieve, and they don't line up with what we want to achieve over there.
Yeah, and they can't achieve what they want without us either.
Exactly. And he goes into a lot of how it like kind of behind the scenes, how it works in the administration, and how we've gotten to where we're at with some of this. It's really interesting, but listening to it, I felt like this podcast was vindicated in a lot of ways just from, Tucker's one of the biggest platforms out there right now. It's
only for one side.
Yeah, still though. Yeah, but who's the counter on the other side would be my question to that.
Well, it doesn't matter because the other side doesn't listen to him at all.
To who?
To Tucker.
To Tucker. They're hearing it. They're hearing it one way or the other. It's even if they're getting queuing up Tucker and listening to the whole thing, they're hearing snippets of it.
Yeah, that are carefully edited to present a particular
absolutely.
argument. It's not the same thing. You can't pull 15 and 30-second clips from an hour or 2 hour interview.
Yeah,
and it really be representative. I
agree.
At least it's too easy to manipulate it to have it say something else entirely.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. But at the same time, he's still. As far as podcasts go, he's the biggest. Him and Joe Rogan are the two biggest platforms there are.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the media landscape, the mainstream media, nobody's really watching it anymore. And if they are, it's the same way as what you just described in little snippets, I
don't know. Walk into my mom's house anytime.
Yeah, but that's not the norm though. I'm just telling you, it is for certain demographics, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's not.
And those are the people that vote.
That's true. You're not wrong. But I don't know. I just really appreciated hearing that position on that platform. And I felt like it really vindicated us in a lot of ways.
Well, I've been thinking about this a lot since I got back from Europe, and I spent that time with my cousin, who is generally more on the left. Although even that's hard to say. He just really hates Trump. That's really what it is. But
yeah. Well, there's plenty of good reasons to hate Trump.
Sure. I don't. It's. Well, I mean, as far as our podcast is concerned, it's just never enough. As critical as we've been about Trump in this new administration, we're still not satisfactorily denouncing Trump.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. I mean, I've gotten some of that back before.
Well, I know, but the point is here that what I'm realizing is that everybody, or most everybody, has their team. And if you disagree with them on any one point, then you must be on the other team. I spent the first 3 days there convincing him that I wasn't a Republican because I didn't satisfactorily denounce Trump.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to put this out there. It's a good thing I'm managing the Facebook page and not you, because I get that constantly. Like I'm always on one team or the other, but it's all and I'm, by the way, I'm a libertarian, like, and I say this all the time out there, like I don't like Trump. I was never voted for Biden. Like Kamala Harris sucked. Like they all suck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the point that I tried to make. And of course, like the argument that I make that he's not a unique evil. He's no worse than any of the rest of them.
Absolutely.
That falls absolutely flat with him. Yes, he is a unique evil. Yeah. No, he's really not. I mean, like, get over it, man. But at the same time, you know, another thing that I was telling him is like, dude, I live in the deep South. I live in one of the most conservative states in the nation, if not the most conservative state in the nation. And I live in one of the most conservative counties in one of the most conservative states in the nation. Yeah. And almost everybody that I talk to on a regular basis thinks I'm a raving liberal.
Yeah. Trust me, I know the feeling.
And so it goes back to that one point. If you disagree with them on any particular policy issue, then you must be on the other team. Yeah. And they don't, and it's like nobody understands that these 2 points of view aren't the only 2 points of view available. Yeah. And I don't know, it's just frustrating to deal with, but everybody's so entrenched with their side that I feel like whatever arguments we make just kind of fall on deaf ears, no matter which side of the argument that we're on. Yeah. We're either encouraging people, like people don't look at anything with any kind of nuance. Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the frustrating thing is like, you know, like have a deeper understanding of what we're telling you. Like, don't. I mean, you know, I can give an example of like the real quickly. We may come back to this later, but the gender wage gap myth. Yeah. Like, okay, so I make a statistical argument about that the statistic that they're presented, the way that statistic was derived does not make it is not evidence to what they claim it's evidence of, right? Yeah. In terms of that women are paid less for the same work. Yeah. Like 20% less for the same work as men, because that's just not what it presents.
The key in that is the same work.
Yeah. Because that's how they present it, right? Yeah, yeah. And so, but because I say that, the argument gets turned to me as, you're saying there's no sexism? Yeah. No, I didn't say that at all. Yeah. That's not the point that I made. I just feel like every time I talk to anybody about anything, they straw man my argument. Yeah. And then argue against a point that I'm not even making. Yeah. And it's because they're so certain about who's on what side about what. Yeah. So I must believe this because I'm not on their side about that.
Well, and that's what I find in trying to make these arguments is everybody's trying to put you in a box, because once you're in the box, they can attack where the
where they think you are,
where they think you exactly where they can attack you from where they've put you. Mm-hmm. And the problem they have that everybody has with us libertarians is we don't fit in any of those boxes. Yeah, we need a new box. Like you can put us in a libertarian box and then fight us from there, but you're going to lose. Yeah, and that's the problem.
I like, and I've tried to move the spectrum, I guess, from right to left or conservative to liberal, to being a spectrum between authoritarian and liberty.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's how we view things.
Yeah. And from that point of view, there's not much difference between the Democrats and the Republicans in this country. They're both on the authoritarian side. Yeah. They both want the government to control you.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So it doesn't matter whether it's fascism or communism. They're two sides of the same coin. They're still authoritarian.
At the end of the day, it's still tyranny.
When I've had these discussions, particularly with this Iran war stuff, it becomes so clear. It's like there's only this one perspective that's age-old, right? Iran is bad because they want to destroy Israel, because they have a radical Islamist government, and so they are trying to create nuclear weapons so that they can blow Israel off the map. Yeah. That's the starting point, right?
Yeah. And even though there's no evidence of the and in Joe Kent's letter, like that's what he says, is that there's nothing to support that Iran was even close to creating nuclear weapons.
Yeah. And so there's this thing, okay, they're trying to create nuclear weapons because they're a radical Islamist government that wants to destroy Israel.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but there's a fatwa, a religious decree from the supreme religious leader and his successor, like the old Ayatollah and the new Ayatollah, saying that it is against the tenets of Islam, the religion that they're radical about, to use nuclear weapons or weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
And so then the response is, yeah, but their religion says that they can lie to infidels to achieve their goal. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
If they're, religious fundamentalists and one of the fundamental tenets of their religion is that they can't use this, then it seems to fit inside of your argument that they wouldn't be developing nuclear weapons. Well, but then there's this other thing. Oh, well, but they'll just lie to you because it's a tenet of their religion to lie to people that don't believe in the religion, which I've read the Quran. Like there's some like in-group, out-group stuff like that, but and it's, but I don't remember that part. I mean, I guess I'm not saying that it's not there.
Yeah.
But I don't remember that part.
Just like with the Bible, though, I mean, these things are all open to interpretation. And when you're talking about the radical aspects of it, like they're going to interpret it in the most radical way to see their end.
Yeah, but it seems to me that even if you're willing to lie to infidels, that the religious decree
would be honest.
Yeah, because you're not talking to the infidels.
Yeah.
You're talking to the in-group then.
Yeah.
And what is the goal? The goal is to drop nuclear weapons on Israel, which would end their society entirely. Yeah. And I don't mean it would end the Israeli society too, but the response would be complete destruction of Iran and their own religious society that they've built.
Yeah.
That's their goal? Well, yes, they want to be martyrs and have their virgins in heaven or what. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's no arguing with you.
Yeah. Well, as far as this war is concerned, I still feel like that's the weaker argument versus our own government's assessments say that they're not doing this. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, to me.
Yeah. I mean, there's that too. Like, there's no evidence that they've lied about anything, actually, since this war began.
Exactly.
And, like we were having that discussion with my mom the other night, and she kept saying, well, just the fact that they have this giant arsenal shows that they were planning something, right? It was like, yeah, they were planning for this.
Yeah, well...
and they made it very clear all along, like, we have a big arsenal, and if you attack us, then we're going to strike back in every way that we can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they know they have hostile neighbors. Mm-hmm. That, by the way, we're the hostile neighbors they have. Our bases are peppered around their country.
Yeah.
I
mean, and
it's not like we've peppered them around their country like, well, we're here to protect you from Israel.
No, exactly.
I mean, that's not the situation.
I mean, Trump's been threatening to destroy them. At least he was honest about that, I guess. Yeah. Threatening to destroy them like all along. And, and my mom's response was like, oh, so that's America's fault too. Like, well, we're there. They're not here. Who's in whose neighborhood?
Exactly. I mean, how would we respond if China was popping bases all in Canada and
in Mexico,
and Cuba and I don't know. I just feel like we've seen this movie before. Like you know how we would feel about that.
Yeah.
I mean, China's a lot more powerful. I mean, China's close to a near peer to us, but Israel isn't anywhere close to a near peer to us.
No.
So how else would you expect them to respond that way? And the thing that irritates me the most with this whole situation, because the other one is, this isn't a new war. This war's been going on for 47 years. Like that's the thing I keep hearing. And it's like, man, we've done nothing in 47 years to try to bring this country into the fold. Like, because that's the, like when goods cross borders, armies don't.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the other thing I hear is like, they've been a problem, they've been a problem my entire life. Like they've been a problem for 47 years. Like, what has Iran ever done to you?
Yeah. Well, and
ever done to you? And the support for terrorism, like again, I think the argument that they're the biggest state supporter of terrorism has been totally debunked by anybody who pays any attention. Right. That it's Saudi Arabia is the biggest state supporter of terrorism. Yeah. Like most of the terrorism that we deal with anywhere in the world is Sunni terrorists.
Yeah.
And the Iranians are Shiite. Like they do provide some support for the Palestinians and Hezbollah.
Yeah.
And the Houthis. The Houthis are their own kind of thing. Like they're not really Sunni
kind of a
or
separate,
Shia. Yeah. But the others, like Palestinians are Sunni and so forth. So there is some support for Sunnis because it's Muslim over whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not directing them.
Yeah.
And they're providing support in the same way that we're like providing support for Ukraine, or were at least until Trump. And I would say that hasn't actually ended, but it's just taken on a new form.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, they don't want these peoples to be crushed by Israel.
Yeah.
And I'll say again, like to the things that they claimed beforehand, they said what they'd do if they were attacked. They told us that they had this arsenal. The U.S. didn't believe that it was that big. Yeah. Is part of it.
Yeah.
Actually, they're being proven to be telling the truth where our government didn't believe them.
Yeah.
They have their self-imposed strike limit, distance limit.
Yeah.
And there's been no evidence that they have actually produced missiles that can go more than however far it was. I can't remember the exact number now. Couple hundred kilometers.
They ain't coming here.
Yeah. And their nuclear program is non-existent. The IAEA, as long as they were able to come in, said that they'd never violated any of the terms of either the NPT or the JCPOA.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah. And
back to the nuke program, like the U.S. residents, anybody who's been alive for more than 30 years believes this is amazing to me, because this is exactly how the last Middle East war started, is claims that they had nuclear weapons and, they were going to drop a bomb on Israel or New York or wherever, and it was all a lie. And why is it so hard to believe that it's a lie again?
Yeah. It's like Groundhog's Day, man. Like I don't know. It's to think that this will go any better than Iraq did is just crazy. I mean, there's a reason we went into Iraq and not Iran at the time anyway. Yeah. Because Iraq was going to be the easy one. Mm-hmm. I remember that propaganda of how easy Iraq was going to be. We're talking
waltz right in, greeted as heroes.
Yeah,
oil will be ours.
Yeah,
it'll pay for itself
by oil. Yeah, like all of the promises, man, and none of it worked out.
Yeah, a lot of the same stuff with Syria,
and that was the easy one. Like this is the hard one.
Yeah,
clearly,
and the longer it goes on, the better it is for Iran. Except for the possibility of Israel getting fed up and dropping their nuclear bombs, because they actually do have them.
Yeah, that's
even though they're undeclared and illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't care about theirs.
Yeah. That I tell you, that's the biggest worry in this. And I mean, my other worry obviously is, the China aspect to this, that, China supporting Iran, and I mean, basically a proxy war like what we're looking at in Russia and Ukraine right now.
Yeah, that one's so bizarre too. Like the whole idea that it's a resource war with China, and that one of our problems here is that Iran sells cheap oil to China, and we want to put an end to that. Well, we created that situation by our blockade of and sanctions on Iranian oil.
Yeah.
It just leaves a few countries that are willing to take the risk of running afoul of the United States to buy that oil. And since Iran doesn't have a lot of buyers, they've got to sell it cheap.
They sell it to whoever they can sell it to, yeah. And
so we created that
price.
situation too.
And that's part of what's so frustrating, why the 47 years thing just really irritates me, that after 47 years, we couldn't come up with a way to bring Iran into the fold and let them, put that oil on the market. Like it can only help the oil market to have that on display, have it out there.
Yeah.
Even if it is all going to China, that's still less that China's buying from other places. Like the greater the supply,
the lower the price.
Lower the price. Like this ain't rocket science.
Yeah, that's the economics 101 right there.
Yeah, exactly.
High school economics.
Yeah, and the fact that we're just so antagonistic to this country. I don't.
Well, and then there's the Iran and Israel will never get along. Well, they were allies 40 years ago.
Yeah.
When we were supporting Saddam Hussein in their fight against Iran, Israel and Iran were allied.
Yeah. that's within that 47-year window.
As a matter of fact.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these things can happen. I'm not expecting them to be buddies overnight, but I go back to it. Well, like when you start moving goods between countries, like you become tied to one another, and it creates a peace there.
Yeah, if we weren't trading, if we didn't get so much wealth out of China in the form of goods, we probably already would have gone to war with China.
Yeah,
it's the problem is we're concerned that they are a near peer competitor. We don't want any near peer competitors, even if they're in another region. Yep. Like it's just great power. Politics.
We can't escape the unipolar moment. Like we've got to make it last forever.
Yeah,
and it was never gonna last forever.
And it's not. It doesn't still exist now, but we won't accept that. Yeah. But the concerns about what would happen to our economy if we cut off economic ties with China is probably the only thing that's kept us out of a war with China.
Oh, I believe that.
In the South China Sea, by the way. Remember?
In their neighborhood, once again.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the empire, man. Like we want to be this empire. And the most compelling argument to me, and there's plenty about why this deal with Iran is so bad, but it's just the simple economics of we can't afford this.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect me, you, and everybody that lives in this beautiful country of ours sooner than later. It already is. We broke it down pretty in depth on the last podcast of like where this is going. And like there's no putting that genie back in the bottle. Like, other than just like pulling out now.
Yeah.
And changing course. But we've seen no evidence from Trump that, he may end up doing that at some point, because even he's going to have to, there's going to become a point where he's going to recognize what's going on.
Yeah. Well, Israel continues to escalate too.
Yeah.
Because, as they escalate, it keeps us involved longer. It makes it hard to find an off-ramp.
It's the same thing they did during the 12-Day War.
Yeah.
It's no different. And when Trump got like visibly pissed about that.
Yeah, they recently blew up that gas production facility, which produces gas for the Iranians. For the citizens of Iran.
Yeah, for the people.
Because, we're of course so concerned about like removing their government so that they can have a free and prosperous nation. Well, this is like the root of their prosperity right here.
Yeah.
And you blew it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we don't care about them.
No.
And I think Israel actually executed the attack, but there's no way they did it without consent, at the very least, from the U.S., I think.
Well, I might disagree with you a little bit on that. I really feel like Israel a lot of times will act on its own and for things like that and just like
better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
That's what I was fixing to say. Yeah, exactly. Because they're capable without us. I mean, they can't do what they do without us, but they're fully capable of bombing stuff.
Yeah, and they do all the time, which is another point to make, because I know the older generations are still stuck on this Israel thing, less so the younger generations, but that Israel is the good guy over there somehow.
Yeah.
And, I would say, again, in almost every case where there's a conflict that Israel is involved, Israel struck first.
Yeah. Yeah, is the aggression.
And in an international conflict that Israel is involved, I'll say. Because I know that October 7th would come up as the first example. Well, if I say international, they actually claim that territory as theirs, so it wasn't an international conflict. Yeah. And I would make the case that they had antagonized that as well, just because of they're killing off a lot more Palestinians year over year than the Palestinians are killing Israelis, even before this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get deep into that again, because, it would require some knowledge of history, and people just don't seem interested.
Yeah. Yeah. History started yesterday.
Yeah. So always, we ignore, what's the, I know Scott Horton took this from somebody else, but I can't remember who it was that he took it from. So, but talking about truncating the antecedents in history, like you just ignore what happened before, the particular point that you want to start from.
Yeah. We start from the point that justifies my most recent action.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yeah. Nothing happened before then.
Yeah, nothing happened before that.
And I guess I'm really disappointed in the Trump people generally on this. And it's one of those, this is another black pill moment, like that I have learned over time doing this podcast primarily that, well, I say learned, I don't know that this is necessarily true, but I get the feeling that people want a king.
Yeah. People
want to be told what to do. People don't want to bear the burden of choice or conscience. They want everything to be on somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't control it. It was out of their hands. Well, it may be a terrible thing, but I didn't have anything to do with that. Yeah. And I think, actually, going back to that gender wage gap thing and like all the other claims of prejudice. And again, I want to make this very clear. I know that there's prejudice in the world.
Well, yeah.
I know that there's sexism. I know that there's racism. But truthfully, in the United States, no matter who you are or what you are, you have everything available to you. And it's like, and I've wondered about this a lot, because the most pushback I've gotten when arguing about those things is from the most successful women I know.
Yeah.
Far more successful than me, women.
Yeah.
Who I get the most pushback from. And I'm trying to figure out why. Like, you've been a great success. Like, how can you think that, everybody's against you?
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it more, and I thought, well, maybe it's this point of honor. I want to feel like I achieved even more than I achieved because I had to get past all these barriers against me because of something that's totally out of my control.
Yeah.
And what I would say is, being a success is hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woman, man, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. Being a success is hard. It is hard to be successful. Everybody who's been successful has had to work through a lot, has had tons of barriers put in their way. Yeah. And they just persisted through. That's why they're successful. It doesn't have anything to do with what you are or who you are. It is just difficult to be successful.
Yeah. And not everybody's built for that type of success. I mean, it's but you can make excuses all day long. Mm-hmm. But the people that are successful push past all of that.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think that a lot of that is like that kind of attitude, though, is part of the, want to be king. Like, want to have a king, I mean, is that you don't have to worry about, like, your failures are because of somebody else. Your successes are in spite of everything that was placed in your path.
Yeah.
And so then your successes are greater and your failures aren't your fault.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to shift that blame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the psychology of all of that is.
I
guess somebody had asked, but she'd probably be pissed.
Well, I think there's definitely something to it.
Yeah. That's all I've got in me, man. I can't sit here any longer. So, you did have something that you wanted to talk about.
I just wanted to close out real quick with the latest Afro Man news. So I know there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast that's probably kept up with this, maybe even more than I have, but I felt like it was kind of worth mentioning. So a few years ago, a couple of years ago, something like that, Afro Man's house was raided. And like the police came in, knocked down the door, tore his house up, whole 9 yards. And no charges were pressed against him. He wasn't arrested or anything like that. And so he produced some music videos and some songs using using his security footage.
Okay.
And like called the police officers like out by name in some of the songs and whatnot. Well, he was sued by the officers that he used in the songs, and he won his case yesterday. So it was a jury, like I guess it was like a civil trial or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they found in his favor. I don't know. I just thought it was a really cool victory for free speech.
Yeah.
Because could have went the other way, I guess. But and I encourage people to at least go look at some of the video from the court that day, because I mean, it was just cool to me. Like, because me and my wife met Afro Man at one of the LP conventions, and he's a really cool guy, really down to earth, fun, mm-hmm. and it was having met him and spent some time with him, to see him in court, like in his American flag suit and American flag glasses, like giving them hell, man. Like just giving them hell. I encourage people to go check it out.
Yeah.
If you want to get like some of that, I don't know, like woohoo freedom feel, like go check it out. I enjoyed it. So.
All right. Cool. Well, something positive to end on there.
Yep.
After I just ranted for 40
40
minutes.
When I came over and you said what we were going to talk about, I was like, well, I definitely want to end on my thing.
Yeah. Once again, people, if we've had any kind of effect on your thinking about any of the topics that we've discussed over these last 6 or 7 years, however long we've been doing this, let me know. Let us know. It would be nice to know that we're not just like
screaming into the void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I certainly want to think that our listeners are people that are, considerate and like have a deeper understanding or want a deeper understanding of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So I definitely like to think that our audience has been influenced in some way by our arguments, our assessments, our opinions, etc. But
it's an interesting thing, because I've been a libertarian for a really long time, but there was a time where because we're pretty radical at this point, as far as like pretty open anarchists for the most part.
Yeah.
And
y'all listen to the early years of the podcast too, where I was dragging Gary.
Well, so that's the point I was going to make, is like, even as a libertarian, I wasn't where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And so it'd be interesting to hear from people and kind of hear, like, did we have any kind of impact like that on you?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, and I know, like, my cousin, for example, she sent me a message at one point that she was like in favor of continuing the Ukraine war until we talked about like some of the Minsk agreements and how the best thing for the Ukrainians was to bring an end to this, that the longer it drags out, it just causes more. And it changed her thinking about the war. And that made me feel real good.
Well, and that's what we try to do with this podcast, because if you just listen to what you're getting on the mainstream media, you're not getting the whole picture. And so a lot of what we're trying to bring is like a deeper dive into what's really going on. Because if you just, and for so long, and I think a lot of people fall into this, is like, well, I watch the news a few times a week, I know what's going on. You don't.
Yeah.
Like, you know exactly what they want you to think. And I use the they as like a broad, like, you know, the whatever you want to call the greater thing out there. I don't know. Like,
say mainstream media.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that anymore. And it takes podcasts like this that are willing to kind of go in and get that information and give it to you. You know,
there's no real researchers anymore in the media. It seems like research in the media now is go on Twitter and see what people, or X, and see what people are saying about it.
Well, and it is wild because like there's a hunger for that. Like people are interested in that type of thing, especially like if like for the mainstream news organizations. Like, I mean, there's a reason Tucker was as big as he was, because, you know, he went and had those conversations and found those people and put that stuff out there. You would think that that somebody in the media would see that and be like, man, I could be that guy. All I got to do is go find these stories and tell them.
Yeah. Well, there is certainly some desire for that kind of long form, more nuanced, more in-depth coverage of things. But I think that there's a greater desire for like the TikTok level of understanding.
Yeah. No, you may be right.
Because that doesn't take any effort.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
And people have tried to talk us into doing like little shorts videos and stuff. And well, there's some appeal of that to me. And my cousin was like, man, you got to get on X. Like, that's where you pick up an audience. It's like, you know, put your takes out there on X and like,
yeah.
And like, I see that, but I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I understand the appeal of it. Like, I get it. And there are some things that if we were doing shorts, like I can see, you know, some little rant about some, you know, basic principle of economics, and we could, you know, put a little video together with some charts and graphs, or, you know, that come up in the video that you can see what we're talking about. Like, I can see the appeal of that kind of thing, but talking about these,
deep,
especially foreign policy issues, like there's just no way.
Yeah, to condense it down.
That you can express to somebody either the underlying principle or causes or whatever, or the potential outcomes in like a 2 or 3 minute video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Not and give it any kind of, not with any kind of value, I guess.
Yeah.
May as well just say, we'll win, they'll lose, lots of destruction. There you go.
Trump in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's wrap up because I cannot sit here any longer.
All right.
So you can follow us on Facebook. You can subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean. Like and share, comment. We'd love to hear from you about how we've influenced your thinking on anything, whether you agree with us in the end or not. You can always email me at michael@thelibertymike.com. Our website is thelibertymike.com, where you can find some other stuff there too. And let's see, we'll be back next week when we finally get this right. And in the meantime, try to stay free.
Life short, live free.
Ciao.
Later.